So in the previous video, I talked about showing multiple action sheets on the same view, and we worked around that by attaching the sheets to the individual buttons so that there would be no confusion. So you see here when I tap the edit button, I get the edit sheet, and then I can tap the show detail sheet button and I get the detail sheet. So in this video, I'm going to show you an alternative method to get the same result. And this one's going to allow us to have a single sheet instead of multiple sheets so that we can reduce the number of sheets that we're presenting within a given view. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by extracting the views that I want to show. For instance, this view here is the detail sheet view, which is just that green view. So I'm going to extract that, and I'm going to place that into a different struct. So I'm just going to create a new struct, and I'm actually going to just call it detail sheet. Pardon the mess until I get it. Actually, this is a view. And then inside, should have done this slightly differently, but it's all right. Mistakes are made sometimes. So that gives me the detail sheet. And I'm going to get rid of this sheet here. So I'm not even going to use that sheet. I'm going to take this sheet and also create my edit sheet. So I'm going to do another struct, and this one's going to be my edit sheet. This is also a view, and the body, which is some view. And I'm going to extract this blue bodied edit sheet and place it here. So now, instead of showing this sheet here, I'm going to move this, and I'm going to use this as the body of the sheet. But now I still have these two booleans for showing, and I only need one. So I'm going to convert this first one. I'm going to change the name to just show sheet, and then get rid of the show detail sheet. And now I'm just going to use this boolean here to show sheet. So I have a show sheet boolean that I'm using. And now when I tap these buttons, I'm going to update each of these actions. I need to get rid of the binding $sign there, to just say I want to show a sheet when I tap the button. So in that instance, now that I'm saying I'm tapping a button and I have a single sheet here, and I'm toggling this boolean. But how do I know which sheet I wanted it to display? Well, I'm going to need another variable and a little more here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an enum called active sheet. And there are going to be two cases for this. One is edit, one is detail. And that's basically which sheet I'm going to show. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another variable that is the active sheet. So I'll know which one I want to display. It's of type active sheet. I'm going to set a default. So it'll be edit by default, say for instance here. It really doesn't matter. But what I now want to do is I'm going to make a determination on which sheet I'm going to show based on that active sheet variable. So if the active sheet is edit, then I'm going to show the edit sheet. And since I only have two cases, I'm just going to simply say else, I'm going to show the detail sheet. So here, everything is looking pretty decent. Should get rid of my error here. Over here, I've got the live preview going on here on the right side. The problem is I still haven't set the active sheet. So if I do this, I'll get the edit sheet in both instances. And this guy needs to catch up. So you'll see here I tap the edit button, I get the edit sheet, but if I tap the show detail sheet, I'll get the edit sheet again. And that's because I went with the default. I set the default for the active sheet, and I'm not changing it when I select the detail sheet. So what I need to do here is when I tap the button, the edit, I want to explicitly say that the active sheet is equal to .edit. But when I hit the show detail sheet, the active sheet is explicitly being set to the detail. So now when I tap the detail sheet button, I get the detail sheet. When I tap the edit button, I get the edit sheet. And my goal is achieved. I have a single sheet to present. So this is another way in which you can use a single sheet or present multiple sheets. But in this instance, we're going to just use a single action sheet inside of the view, and we just determine based on the active sheet value which view we're going to display. Now, this can get out of hand with the if-else. If you start getting a lot of cases, let's say you get 4 or 5 different sheets. So you might want to handle this logic a little bit differently. I tend to use case statements, switch statements when I get beyond 2 to 3 cases because I just don't like a lot of if-else. It just looks ugly to me. And there might be some, you can also solve this some other ways, but I just want to present an alternative to having a single action sheet attached to every element that you want inside of a given view. Hope this helps, and it's one other way you can get started or work around different situations in SwiftUI, which I am always excited about. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Please comment suggestions for things you'd like to see. I got one suggestion for design patterns. If you want to see me start talking about design patterns, say something in the comments, and if I get enough, then I'll keep making the videos and I'll branch off into design patterns. Otherwise, I'll just keep doing these little quirky little things inside of SwiftUI for the time being. Thanks again. See you next time.